Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Style Studio Conversations podcast community. I'm your host, Monique Ross, style expert, fashion buyer, and your style coach. The goal of Style Studio Conversations podcast is to have authentic conversations that inspire and empower women to share experiences, tips, and resources that allow you to tap into your highest potential of personal style and confidence. And most importantly, build a community where I can serve and impact the lives of more women just like you. So stay locked in so that you can tune in to Style Studio Conversations. Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back. No, I'm joking. Okay, welcome back, listeners. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Style Studio Conversations podcast. I'm really excited to get into today's episode. This topic is important when it comes to truly identifying your personal style. We're going to talk about personal style versus influence style. Don't kill me, but we got to keep it real. In our big world of social media, we are not only influenced by designers and brands, but we're also influenced by influencers and just influential people that really matter to us. And that is not, in celebrities and all of that. Not that that's a bad thing, but sometimes it really clouds our, mind from identifying what our true personal style is. Because what we don't want to do is really walk around imitating someone else. Like, we want to be influenced, we want to be inspired, but we really want to own our own look, our own personal style, our own image. So I want to really get into the key things that you have to think about when identifying your personal style and then being influenced, an influence style and what that looks like. So here are some things to take into consideration when being influenced but staying true to identifying your personal style. The first thing I want to hit on is timeless versus trend driven. And, in today's episode, I'm wearing pedal pushers, which have made a comeback over summer, and they're very much moving into 2025. So don't hate. I love them. I know sometimes people are in my DMs like, girl, what are you talking about? I cannot wear those. And you really can't, because there's so many variations of them. But let's get back on topic. So often it's focused, often personal style is more so focused on timeless pieces that will transform you through the seasons and really anchor you in building your looks. These garments are typically pieces you feel connected to regardless of the season or current trend. And then influence style, typically trend driven, because when we get on social media or we get on all of these different outlets, they're pushing what's the latest that they've been driven to, what just came out, what collection, all of that. It's when style is being influenced by what's popular on the runway, social media, and that can really lead to a bad investment, because the trend isn't always classic per se. So that's why I use pedal pushers. I think they're a classic trend versus something like a print or nylon leggings or something like that will fat will fade very quickly. So that's there. So I'm going to break it down as another example. So for instance, as we're talking about timeless versus trend driven, your favorite influencer just showcased a new fall color in, let's say, a Brandon Blackwood bag, because we love Brandon Blackwood and we love his bags. It looks so good with what she's wearing. She's styled it perfectly. The color is really popping. And then you're like, oh my goodness, like that looks so good. Maybe I need that as well. But that color, whether it be orange, green, burgundy, it may not be your color. Yes, it worked perfectly for that influencer's outfit and what she was wearing, but does that color really work for your fall wardrobe? Does it really work for your personal style and what you have planned? And that's what I really want you to take into consideration. Because are you going to go buy her whole outfit and buy the bag and wear it once? Or, does that really match up with you? And we don't want to make those investments where we're only buying something once because it looks so good on someone else. So when you come into that, ask yourself these questions. One, does that fall color work in my curated wardrobe for fall? Two, what do I love most about the bag? Is it the shape, the size, how it's styled? Because I'm not telling you no, but I want you to really understand why that purchase matters in your wardrobe and how it connects with you. And then three, would another color option be more fitting for your personal style and outfit combinations you could pair it with? Because, okay, that silhouette, that bag, but maybe entertain something else, another color or another option that's more fitting for your personal style versus really mimicking what the influencer did. So that's one way when we're really talking about personal style versus influence style. And these conversations are important because we're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. Instagram has all the things. So we need to have more power in our buying and our fashion footprint, which segues into intentional choices versus impulsive decisions. We're all guilty, me included. I have a little bit more control. This is my expertise. However, we're all guilty. Personal style really involves intentional decision making. It's a lot of planning that goes along with it. Well, there should be. You really are looking for key pieces to replace because you've gotten your wears per use or whatever the case may be. But people with a strong sense of personal style invest in pieces that reflect their values, such as it could be sustainability, ethical fashion, or, just making mindful purchasing decisions. And that's why really I mentioned earlier, like what that fashion footprint is for you. And then influence style, it can lead into impulsive purchases, like driven by the need to keep up with trends, social media culture. This often results in like fast fashion choices, which most people who know me, you guys are getting to know me a little bit more, but I am not a fast fashion girly. Not that I can't say I've never, purchased anything, but that's not where I'm led or where I lead my clients. And decisions, that, fast fashion choices, and then without considering like the quality or the personal connection that you really have of what you're buying, which is really a result of influence style. So, like I did in the last point, I'm going to give you guys an example so you can really start to think about it. And I know your mind is kind of going like, check yourself a little bit. Like, where do you fall just within these two groups that I've pointed out? And it's okay to just have a reality check and want to, make some better choices. But the example that I want to give is having a fashion imprint in mind and making a fashion vision that grows your wardrobe with intention is the best thing to really do. Doing seasonal closet edits and making shopping lists that fill the gaps when you're elevating your wardrobe is really you taking ownership of what your personal style is that is going to allow you to make the best intentional choice versus that impulsive decision. So that's why I encourage closet edits. I encourage auditing your inventory in your closet so that you, when you're out shopping or when you're out scrolling the gram or wherever, TikTok, you are making more informed decisions on what you're adding. Then lastly, let's get into really authenticity versus conforming to what everyone else is doing, which is the other big piece. Like, personal style needs to reflect an individual's taste. It needs to be something that you truly love. Your preferences. It's really your self-expression. It's about wearing what feels authentic to one's personality and lifestyle. So that's what, you want to truly be authentic in your purchases and your wardrobe, because that's when you really will embody the confidence you're looking for in the image that you're presenting. And then influence style is gonna really reflect like trends driven by external factors, such as, I know I've said this word so much today in today's episode, but trends driven by social media and societal expectations and things like that. So it can sometimes just lead to you conforming to the pressure of what you're seeing everyone consume, and then you kind of just follow down that. So you have to really make your style vision, stick to your shopping list, be intentional with your purchases so that your style is reflective of you, your personal style, and not more so of influence style. And as an example, it's like being influenced by your favorite influencer or fashion icon doesn't mean you need to mimic them. It's for you to draw the inspiration, like I said. It's for you to really find what pieces may fit well to fill your gaps. So I'm not telling you not to be influenced by them, but I want you to really weed out what works for you. So that is the meat and potatoes of it. I hope, that was helpful. I hope that just kind of gave you a refresh of your mind on what could be missing, because sometimes you're doing a lot of impulsive buying and you're still there with a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear. And that's because it's not really tracking. So think timeless versus trend driven. We want to go with timeless. We want to be intentional instead of impulsive. And then we really want to we don't want to conform. We want to be authentic with our purchases and our decisions and how we're crafting our personal style. Those are my takeaways. I'm going to leave some of that in the show notes so that you can reference it. You can also give me comment in the YouTube if you have questions or want to dig further on how you can really work on making timeless purchases, intentional choices, and being authentic to yourselves. This is a community. I want to hear from you, and I want to help you on your style journey. But thanks for tuning in today as we discuss personal style versus influence style. This has been a joy, and make sure you stay locked in so you can tune in to Style Studio Conversations podcast. Thanks for listening to Style Studio Conversations podcast. Be sure to subscribe, share, and leave a review. With Style, Monique Ross.